What does he do in the United States? And the next question is, where did he work before leaving for the United States? How did he go to the United States? So for today, we are still going on with the series we started, that was the US spousal visa interview. So I had an experience with the embassy, and I got an email because my husband is in the US and he filed for me to be able to join him. That's a spousal visa interview. So when I was sent the email, I went to for medicals and paid all the documents, and I finally went for the interview. So guys, today I will just be giving out a list of questions that was asked during the interview and some possible questions that they might ask you. But the list is quite long, guys, so I hope that you are ready for this and you prepare for your interview well by looking for the answer to these questions. So if you have the answers to these questions, you're good. And if there are some questions that you do not have the answers to, please do find them out, look for the answers before you go in for your visa interview, so you are so much prepared and there is no need to panic. You will all be happy at the end with your visa to join your family members. If I didn't possibly write the questions I had on that day down, I possibly will not be able to remember all of them. So what I did on that day was, I just quickly, when I quickly left the embassy, while going home with the taxi, I tried to write down all the questions I was asked. So I will start by the questions I was asked, and then we'll move to other questions that I normally ask that other candidates do have as questions during their spousal visa interview. So first things first, I was asked, when did you meet your husband, or when did you meet your spouse? Question number 2, there was, how did you get married? The next question was, what does he do in the United States? And the next question is, where did he work before leaving for the United States? How did he go to the United States? When did he come to Cameroon? Like, when last did he come to Cameroon? The last time he visited you in Cameroon. Do you have any children with him? Or do you have any other children with someone else apart from your husband? Does your husband have other children? Have you or your husband been married before? How long did he spend in Cameroon when he came before the last time he visited? It means before the last time he visited, how long did he spend in Cameroon when he visited you? You have to give the length of time. And he was like, who is inviting you to the US? Like, some questions, guys. This one, I was stunned. I was like, but how it's supposed to visa interview, who else will be inviting me to the US? I was like, hey. But guys, you just have to be calm and quiet enough to answer the questions. Be calm. So you're like, okay, it's my husband. If it's your if it's your fiance, you saying, okay, it's my fiance that's inviting me to the US. Simple questions, simple answer. And then he was like, what are your names and that of your son? Because on that day I had a baby with me, so I carried my baby for the visa interview. So he would fight for both of us, but he could not speak, so I spoke. Everything I had to do was for him. So any questions he had as per him, I had to answer. So these are the questions I was asked. But before going in for the visa interview, I had a series of questions that I had looked for the answers to. So that were possible questions that could be asked, and others had gotten them as questions. So the first one was, where did you get married? When did you get married? Where did you meet your spouse? When did your spouse travel? And how did he, or like, is it how? No, it was by what means? What took him to school? Is it to what? How did he go to the US? As the first questions. And then the next question, they'll be like, okay, does your spouse have any siblings? If yes, how many of them? Sometimes they might ask you to name the siblings, how many girls, how many boys. They might ask you the name of your spouse parents. They might ask you where your spouse parents live. They might also ask you where your spouse worked before he left the country. And they might also ask you the circumstances with which you met your spouse. So there are a series of questions that you should make sure you have answers to. And some other questions that might not seem as questions, that might not seem to be important but are important. They will ask like, what does your spouse do in the US? Where does he work? What company does he work? What kind of car does your spouse drive? Some questions that you might like they might also ask, how much does your spouse earn? How frequent is he paid? Is he paid in 2 weeks? Is he paid once in a month? How frequent is he paid, and how much is he paid? They'll ask you all those kind of details. So guys, I hope that these questions help as you prepare for your visa interview. And if you've not watched the other videos of this series, please do go and check them. We talked about the documents you had to prepare to go for your visa interview. We talk also about medicals, how to go about your medicals. We also talked about some tips, general tips on how to prepare for your visa interview as a spouse, when your spouse filed for you. So once you've received your email, how to go about the preparation and what to do on the day of your interview. So guys, I hope this video was interesting. I hope it was educative enough. So please don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you like the content. Leave us a comment in the comment section. So if you have any recommendation of other videos that you might like us to do for you, then we'll be glad to do that for our subscribers. Remember, you guys are the best, right? Okay guys, so thank you very much for watching right up to this point. You are amazing. So don't ever forget that, and don't forget to check us every week for a new video, new cover video, a new educational video, or a new business video. Just be open to everything, for we will love to give you guys good juice.